Welcome to It Starts With Courage podcast with Kat and Jen. What is it? It's everything. Everything you want in life starts with courage.
What up, Kat?
We're back. How are you?
I'm good.
Good to see me, isn't it?
It is good to see you. Are you recovering from the Garth weekend?
Do you know how many people just, obviously, I'm not white.
Was that a white people thing?
I mean, okay, so I said Garth Brooks to quite a few people. They said, who's Garth Brooks?
Oh my gosh.
I know.
Our office manager was like, I was offered 2 free tickets, but I don't even know what he sings. I was like, who are you?
But for real though, when was the last time he had a hit? Like, does he still release music or?
No, it's all old music. Let me tell you a story about Garth Brooks, okay?
Uh-huh.
So when I was a kid, my dad only let us listen to Christian music.
Yeah.
All growing up. Okay?
Okay.
So I didn't get exposed to anything else other than Christian music. And back then, Christian music was not what it is today.
Mm-hmm.
And I can remember hearing Garth Brooks and like a friend of mine giving me like his cassette tape.
Yeah.
And I can remember going into my dad's office at home and like gathering the courage to ask him if I could buy this cassette tape, and here was a copy of it that he could listen to. And it only had one curse word in it, and it was the damned old rodeo.
Oh.
And
what'd your dad say?
I think he realized like I was in middle school.
Wow.
Yeah. And so I think he realized like, okay, I'm not going to be able to control this anymore. So he said yes. So that was my first.
So were you like a fangirl?
No.
You didn't have like posters up and used to
no
kiss
posters.
him goodnight?
No, I saw him in college. I saw him play at the PMAC when I was in college. But so he has old music.
Yeah.
So that everybody in their 40s. He was a big deal back when we were younger.
Well, apparently he's still a big deal. I heard his concert sold out in like 2 days. No, I think you told me that he sold out in 2 days.
Yeah.
And there was zero accommodation. This weekend I was doing the terrain race, which is like a Tough Mudder. So I did it with a couple of friends and colleagues from work, and they had people coming in from town. And obviously my Airbnb was booked, and then they were trying to find accommodation. This is probably like 4 days before. No hotels. No.
None.
Like, this guy brought money to this place.
Tons of money.
I'm just mad I didn't increase the price of the Airbnb.
Gotta stay on top of these things, Kat. Was your renter a good renter?
They were good. They've been back. This is their second time back or third time back. And then they're already booked for the fall to come back.
No.
I know.
Perfect.
I know. I mean, it's not bad at all. I ain't complaining. Okay, so listen, I have a question for you.
Okay.
What comes to your mind when you think of the phrase, I can't? Like, what can't you do? And this goes out to you guys as well. As you're listening to this, when you think I can't, what comes to mind? Or like, what are 2-3 things that come to mind that you're like, I can't do this. I can't do this.
I can't do an Ironman.
Mm-hmm.
I can't, like, when I think of things that I can't, like, I look at like interior designers and I'm like, I can't do that.
Yeah.
I can't put together a room like you can
put it together.
Like, that's not my thing. Those are 2 things. Do you have any certain context that you want this in?
Like, okay. Before I answer that question, what about if I say I don't? What don't you do?
I don't drink.
Uh-huh. Boring. I'm just kidding. I'm joking. I kid. Uh-huh.
Tell me how you really feel.
No. Okay, you don't drink.
I don't drink. I don't do crowds,
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, I don't do that. Like, no,
Yeah.
I don't.
Okay. So, and this is for you guys listening as well. So we've got I can't and I don't. Do you feel like they're pretty interchangeable or they're pretty similar? Like, how do you think those two affect you just on a day to day when you say I can't versus I don't?
I kind of feel like that I can't is more negative than
Mm-hmm.
I don't. Like, I can't is like, I like telling myself like I can't do it,
Yeah.
whereas maybe like I don't is more of like a choice.
Okay. Yeah, I like that. So I came across this article. It was a Forbes article. And this was talking about the difference between I can't and I don't. And I think I can't and I don't it's one of those or two of those phrases that we use interchangeably, but we never realize how much it actually affects like our thoughts, our feelings, our behaviors towards certain things. Like when you think about setting goals, or if somebody's like, oh, hey, let's do this, and you're like, I can't, right? A can't is pretty definitive, right? It's really like, I really can't. There's a restriction.
I want to, but I can't.
Yeah, it's like, I can't. And it's a restriction that undermines your power, right? And what happens, even when you're as a kid, and you're told you can't do this, you're not allowed to do this. I can't implies that you're not allowed. There's a certain restriction you shouldn't.
And then you just want to even more.
And then you want to rebel against I can't. And I was thinking about this, like in our own lives, when we set out to do something or we decide we would like to do something. And it may be that, oh, hey, one day I would like to live in $1 million house, or one day I want to do that Ironman, right? One day I want to design that house, as you've just said, interior decorating. Now, one, I can't can do one of two things. It completely puts you off. It's almost like you're not good enough. Don't even bother trying, and you're done. But when it comes to goal setting and you're like, okay, well, I want to do the Ironman. So that means I need to change how I eat. I need to do all of this stuff. And you go to your trainer, as you have with your trainer, Brandy.
Mm-hmm.
And Brandy says, Jen, listen, you need to eat like this for the next month. This is how you need to train. You and I go out to dinner and I'm like, oh my, let's just have this dessert, like this chocolate souffle, because I live for chocolate souffle.
Bougie.
Yeah, but it's so good. And then you're like, oh man, I can't. And why can't you? Because you're thinking I'm on this super restrictive diet. I really can't because Brandy said I'm not allowed to have this. So I can't. I really, really want this, but I can't. And then I may try you again tomorrow because I'm a good friend like that constantly tries to tempt you. And this time you might be like, I can't, but will it hurt if I just have a little
taste?
Bit? Yeah, it's just that taste.
It's never just a taste.
You know what they say, a moment on the lips, a lifetime on the hips. But with that, you've really set yourself up to fail. Whereas when we look at the other side of I don't implies that there's a choice, right?
Yeah.
And you're in control, really. It's, I may offer you to do something, but it's, I can if I want to, but I choose not to. And I think there's a certain amount of empowerment in I don't. So if we went out, we're at dinner, the chocolate souffle comes around. Jen, do you want some?
I
don't eat that right now, or that's not part of my diet. I don't versus I can't. I can't is being stopped. You're not allowed. I don't is I am choosing not to partake in your delectable, delicious chocolate souffle, right? So I was just thinking about that. I was like, I wanted to set a little challenge for us.
Okay.
Out there for maybe the next sort of, we're in the month of May, new month, right? For the rest of May, I want you to switch out I can't with I don't.
Okay.
And maybe keep a little track. Like, okay, today I noticed, I'm going to call you out. When we started this podcast, Jen had just finished 75 Hard. My girl was not drinking any kind of Coke.
You're correct.
Last week, when we recorded the podcast, and today, I saw some brown stuff in your cup.
Yep. You're correct. Diet Coke.
So what would Brandy say? I know you had wanted to increase that water. So
You're like calling me out on the podcast.
So, and you guys out there as well, I want to call you out on that thing that we know you're secretly doing that maybe you've been trying to challenge yourself to just get out of. Like, sometimes it's easy to try and set new habits, but it's harder to get rid of old ones.
Yeah.
And I feel like interchanging or using I don't instead of I can't can really help you reach some milestones. And if anything, it's going to work on your mental. It's going to change your behavior towards whatever it is that you want to change in your life, because I don't is going to give you a certain level of empowerment. And to be honest, that's what it's really all about. Choices. We want to feel like we can do what we want. And I feel like I don't is one of those things that will really just help you get that power back when it comes to attacking goals.
Love it. I'm going to try that this week or the rest of this month.
So if you're out there, guys, I'm challenging you too. I don't versus I can't.
Oh, get ready, because the next recording, I'm challenging you on something.
Oh, baby.
Thanks for listening to this episode of It Starts With Courage podcast with Kat and Jen. If you like this episode of the podcast, visit our website, iswcpodcast.com, for show notes and other cool things.